My name is Dave Hayes, and I'm a lower baritone. And I've actually bounced. I was an upper bass for a season, but then bounced back down to lower baritone. I grew up in upstate New York in a little village called St. Johnsville between Albany and Syracuse. And it was okay. It was okay. And I've been with the chorus since the fall of 2015. I joined and have really enjoyed it.
I love that. What was the first rehearsal like?
The first rehearsal was really fun. When I showed up for the first rehearsal prior to actually auditioning, I was met by Tom Paulino. Mm-hmm. And he loves to tell this story how he came up to me and he met me and he said, "Oh, hey, I'm going to introduce you to some people." And I'm like, "Oh, I know him. He's like, "Well, fine then." And I just kind of went on my way and said hello to a whole bunch of people that I knew. And it was immediately warm and welcoming. People I knew. It felt like walking into just this great room of friends and not feeling like you don't belong. I just felt like I belonged.
Wonderful. What was the first season like?
It was pretty incredible. My most memorable moment was the Saturday night concert, the holiday concert. Mm-hmm. And we had done 2 other concerts, of course. We got to that Saturday night concert and the energy was so different. It was the last show of the 3 concerts. And even before that curtain opened, the audience was just so high on their energy. And it just pushed this rush of adrenaline through me that I just can't describe. But it's like so much excitement. That curtain opened, we started singing, and I was just like smiles ear to ear.
I love that. It's very difficult to describe the rush of being on stage surrounded by 300 brothers and having a fully packed audience who knows you, who's been to shows before, who is so ready for it that they're applauding and cheering even before the show starts. It's magical.
Yep, exactly.
Absolutely magical. So then what? After, the first year or so?
So I have this propensity to give of my time. So I started finding things that I could do, that I could contribute other than just singing. I wanted to be a bigger part. I can't contribute a lot of money financially, but time is money, and I knew that's really important. So I didn't try to go on the fan or anything because I could afford to pay my way, but I still wanted to contribute to something. Before I joined the chorus, I used to run a social group called the San Francisco Movie Bears. And so we stopped doing that, and I needed somewhere to put that energy. And the chorus became the most likely place. I jumped on helping out with some volunteering. And then when the tour came up, the Lavender Pen tour, I said, well, maybe I should take a big role in that. And I got chosen as one of the co-chairs for the Lavender Pen tour along with Tom Paulino. And it was the most rewarding volunteering I've ever done.
So for folks who haven't heard of the tour or haven't seen the documentary, could you summarize it?
Yeah, it was 8 days of going to 5 states in the South and singing for our lives and singing for our brothers and sisters in the South who were living in areas that have really bad laws against LGBTQ communities. And I was instrumental in planning travel and hotel and scheduling and communications. And it was really neat. One of the benefits I got from that was getting to know people more, getting to recognize names and faces. So that's also another reason I like to contribute volunteering is I get to meet more people, because when you're in our rehearsals, you're in your section, so you get to know those people, but you don't get to, like I'm in the lower section, I don't get to see the T ones, the tenor ones, and meet them or talk to them. So this was a great opportunity to meet a lot more people.
Are there any, I mean, I'm sure there are many, but particularly memorable parts of the tour for you? Maybe a conversation or an interaction?
My favorite part was being in the Brown Chapel in Selma, and just it was us and the Oakland Interfaith Gospel Choir, and we were just singing to just us and some dignitaries that were there. And for some reason, the energy was the most loving and caring and amazing. That was my most favorite moment of the tour.
I've heard so many people talk about that moment, and I wish that I could have been there. I had just joined in August, right before the tour. It was beautiful. So looking back now, it's been 5 years or so.
5 years, yeah.
Since you've joined. What's been the most rewarding part of chorus?
Contributing, helping to make the chorus a continued success. I even, with having the new building at 170 Valencia, I've even contributed there. I went in and installed network cabling for internet access there. So it's like I find these opportunities and go, oh, I can do that. I'm going to contribute to that. And just contributing gives me this sense of that community belongs to me, and I belong to that community.
It's so beautiful. One of the things we see consistently in surveys is the vast majority of chorus members volunteer in some way in addition to singing, which is remarkable for any nonprofit organization, but especially one of our size. It's really cool.
Exactly.
So thinking back to growing up in this town in New York, up to now, tell me a little bit about what your town was like, your house, your family.
It was a very small village, like 1,000 people. And we lived on Division Street, and everybody knew everybody in the town. That's how small this town was. And sadly, my family were on the really poor end of the scale. So we were bullied. We were bullied I wasn't bullied because I was gay ever. I was bullied because I was poor. And I knew that I wasn't going to always be that way. I was going to find my way to success, to be successful doing something that I absolutely love doing. And I always I'm a computer tech by trade, and I've always liked to take things apart, and I always like to deal with technology. And so when I got into high school, we helped build a computer lab in the school, and it was quite cool. I got out of it for a while, but then I worked my way back into it, and I have the best job working with people and technology. I'm a people person. I love dealing with people, and I love technology, and I have this job doing desktop support where I get to deal with both. I did move north for my last few years of my high school to live with my dad. And the good thing about that, it was a really smaller rural school. There was only 650 students, K through 12. And I knew people that were there. So I kind of got away from the bullying for the last 3 years and was really able to succeed because I already knew people there. And I became vice president of my class and editor of the yearbook. And I avoided drama and I avoided chorus. And I knew I was gay and I didn't want to join anything that might lead me to being outed in school. It was kind of terrifying to think of that because, people put that kind of thing down. I wish I would have joined those things though, but I'm glad I have the course now. I mean, I really, truly do like to perform.
When did you come out?
I didn't come out until I was 22, actually. I dated a girl in my senior year in high school, and then a few years later, I finally moved out on my own, and a couple years later, moved out on my own and decided it was time to be my true self.
Looking back on that time, is there anything you would tell your younger self if you could?
Yeah, I would, be your true self. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. You're a really good person, and your future looks really, really good.
Any other parts of your musical journey that stand out to you along the way?
Yeah, I did. I did audition for the Austin Gay Men's Chorus when I lived in Austin, and I actually got in, but I wasn't really connecting with the music, so I didn't really stick with it too long. But I did go to karaoke as often as I could when I lived in Texas, and then after I got to San Francisco, I found the Mint and would go there a lot. It's like only a block and a half from me, so it was really easy to just go over there and grab the mic and sing. When I was in grade school, actually, I belonged to a church, and the church did Broadway shows. And so my brother and I both participated in those as best as we could. Never got any kind of leading roles, but we did, get some chorus kind of roles.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. We did Fiddler on the Roof. We were Russian soldiers, and Godspell and Wizard of Oz. So those are really fun.
In terms of repertoire, do you have any favorite pieces that you've sung in chorus so far?
I did love Unbreakable. I love that the videos are coming out, that we've been seeing the videos online. That was really a really amazing, powerful piece. The really interesting part about that, and I don't know if you remember, but the day of tech rehearsal, Thursday, I had a minor heart attack and ended up in the hospital. And they put a stent in through my wrist, and I was out the next day, and I sang both Saturday concerts after having that happen. I was determined that I was going to sing this piece because I just really, really loved it so much. So,
is there anything else about your experience in chorus you want to talk about that we haven't covered yet?
Well, I think people should give it a chance if they've ever thought about it. I think it's something that can really benefit a person, especially if you're finding yourself isolated. I mean, right now is not a great time. We're not going to be having rehearsals, but I know it was like the perfect time. I was like looking for that next thing for me to do. And I've made some really great friends. There's opportunities for you to be a big brother or have a big brother when you start, and you get to be paired up with somebody right away that could become a really great friend. I have a little brother myself who I just love and adore, and he left the chorus, and we still see each other and talk, and we have just a really great connection. I just think if you've ever thought about it, go for it. Give it a try. If you don't make it, you can try again. You won't know unless you come in and give it a whirl.
Absolutely. And there are people who audition and don't make it, and then go work on voice lessons and come back and audition and get in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
If there's some young person out there watching this who shares some part of their background with you, what would you tell them?
I can always say, be yourself, be who you are, be your true self. I've heard a lot of great stories, people's stories of them coming out and really finding their true selves. My coming out story wasn't a really big deal. Nobody was surprised, actually. But I don't know, just be your true authentic self. Go for the things that you want. You can't get what you want if you don't try. I'm glad I auditioned. I've even I got a solo my first year, and I've tried out for solos, and I'm not quite a really a soloist so much, but I love being a part of the whole energy, being a part of that wall of music. I've been on the audience side, and hearing that wall of music is amazing. Being a part of it, knowing what the audience is hearing, just thrills me to no end. And if you can be a part of something that big and that amazing, why not go for it?